Hello everybody, it is Saturday, time for a Saturday showcase, and we're starting with the brand new Forza Ford GT race car, Le Mans livery. It's a beauty. We've already featured it, so why am I starting here, especially when you see the title of this video? Because we're going to work backwards. This is the Hot Wheels Ford GT race car. Hot Wheels the last few years has been the home of the Ford GT, at least when it comes to this size diecast. This is the Ford GT, 2017 Ford GT, right, from the Forza series. It debuted in Forza and in the mainline and as a super treasure hunt last year in 2016. Then we've seen it in yellow and silver this year. Ford GT is a ridiculous car, and these castings that they've done, the race car and the regular one, are pretty phenomenal, but they've done other Ford GTs like the Ford GT LM. This is one of my favorites. We've seen it in the main line several times, including recently in a 5-pack, I believe. This is from the Speed Machine series, and as nice as this one looks in teal, my absolute favorite one, I'm not showing you all of them, of course. That could be another Saturday showcase, is this beauty. Also from the Speed Machines in black. Kind of a metal flake black with these really cool co-mold wheels. Sad to see them gone. Love to see them back, maybe in real rider form, but I've mentioned that several times to the folks at Hot Wheels. You never know. That's still going backwards. There's still other Ford GTs like the Ford GT40 the Hot Wheels did. I'm not a huge fan of this casting, but I do have two of them. This is one of them from the Hot Wheels Racing series. It's a beauty, right? Those wheels on it look phenomenal. This is as premium as Hot Wheels will do. And that one looks very cool in black, kind of that old 60s racing style. And then of course from the RLC series, this Spectra Flame Golf version. So why do I start with Hot Wheels when I'm actually featuring Matchbox? Because that's in the title. Because I just want you to get an idea that these are all the Ford GTs that we've seen before from Hot Wheels, but I think the best Ford GT casting that was done, let me go back to this one. This Ford GT race car was designed by one Ryo Asada. He has designed a plethora of cars for Hot Wheels, including the recent R30 Skyline, the recent R33 Skyline. But if you didn't know, Ryo came from Matchbox. When he first started at Mattel, he started at Matchbox, and he designed a whole heck of a lot of fantastic Matchbox castings. And he has, to quote LeBron, taken his talents over to the blue side from the orange side, but he left his mark with some truly wonderful castings. This is the Ford GT, debuted in 2005. And this is the debut version designed by Ryo Asada, and it is darn near perfect. There is another Ford GT casting, recent Ford GT casting, one of the most iconic of all Matchbox castings is the Ford GT40 from, I think it was produced in the 60s. We'll get to that. I don't have them because I don't collect that era of Matchbox, but we will walk through these golden age, starting with that very signature red with the white stripe, and here we go. This is the Saturday showcase. It is the Ford GT from Matchbox. Like I said, it debuted in 2005. And then we saw it over and over and over again in red, 2005, then 2006 in a 5-pack. This is the 5-pack version in yellow. Notice, lace wheels, which they don't make anymore, black stripe on the top with the headlights. I don't think they did the taillights in this case, but this is kind of the standard design that they ran with. At the time, 2005, 2006, they were also doing Superfast. Superfast was considered a premium line. I think the only thing that really made it premium in Matchbox standards was these wheels, which are still plastic wheels, but they had reserved them for Superfast. Some people like them, some people don't. I'll say this. On the right car, they work. I like them on the Ford GT. Some models, they don't. But this one, and what really made this premium is that they added extra deco. So you can see the stripes, just like Matchbox always, just tight, clean. Then you have the side stripe with the Ford GT logo on it. And then the rear tail lights done as well. Now, one thing that was interesting, this was the US Superfast version in black. At the time, Superfast was a line of 75 cars. They did one that was released in the United States and one that was released in what they call ROW, Rest of World. So, if you lived in the US, you got the black one. If you lived elsewhere, like Europe or Australia or Asia, South America, this is the one you would find in silver. It's essentially a reverse. It wasn't always the case, but a reverse of the US version. So US version was black with gray stripes. The ROW version was gray with black stripes. So if you were in the US, you had to find a friend in Australia, which I did. Jonathan, right? I still remember, and I made trades with him, and he sent me this beautiful silver version. It remains to this day my favorite Ford GT. Let's look at that rear license. What does it say on there? Rio, C-R-Y-U, Rio Asada. You find little hints like that. All right, here is one of many people's favorites of the Ford GT 2006 mainline version in Gulf colors. We won't say Gulf livery because it's not official, but you can see the orange and the baby blue. They did a really nice job in the front. Ford logo on the front, I'll show you that because there's also a variation, which I didn't discover until recently. There's this version. Let it come around. You can marvel at how beautiful this model is, and as it comes around, you will see on the front no Ford logo. So there's with Ford logo and there's without Ford logo. How cool is that model? That is many people's favorites. I still go with that silver Superfast. All right, Matchbox was doing all kinds of lines back in the day. This particular version I think is also 2006, same time as the main line. This one is a Stars of Cars version. Stars of Cars was a small line of sports cars and European cars, even though this is Ford, European style cars that was released only in Europe and in Germany's Europe, of course. But it started in Germany. It used to be Stars of Germany, and then it was called Stars of Cars. I think so they could expand off of the Mercedes, BMW type of thing, Porsche. And this is that version. So again, I had to get that silver version from someone. I had to get this version from someone in Germany, which I did. Certain castings, I'm a completist, and if it means they're going to be released outside of the U.S., I will do everything I can to get them. I know many of you in other countries have to do the same with some of these U.S. releases. Kind of stinks, but it's still kind of fun. You can figure out trades, whatever. This is the mainline 2007 version in gold. They had just released the double 10-spoke wheels. They were new wheels, but they hadn't released a large version of the wheel yet, so they went with the same size wheels on the front and back. Doesn't look terrible, but you can see there's a bit of a gap between the rear wheel and the wheel well. It's not too bad. That happened not once, but twice, because they recolored the Ford GT in 2007. And how cool is this one? Orange with black rims. Number 56 on the hood. This one's a gem. Mean looking Ford GT. Halloween colors, right? I know many people that think this one is their favorite, and I don't blame them. Oh, we're still going, guys. This is going to be a long video. Superfast, that was 2005, 2006 Superfast. It continued in 2007. So you can see those Superfast wheels return, the full premium design. You can see Rio's name on the rear license plate again. This time instead of silver and in black, this one is in green. They had done away with the Rest of World line at that point, so Superfast was just a one-car line released worldwide. This was in that. Looks good in British racing green, I would say. We've seen it in 5-packs. We've seen it in Stars of Cars. We've seen it in Superfast. How about an exclusive 10-pack model? Again, I said Matchbox was doing all kinds of lines. They did exclusive 10-packs, entire 10-packs, meaning not just one exclusive and models from other lines. Every model in the 10-pack was an exclusive. That included this one. And again, you want to talk about pretty? Gold rims, matte black, gold stripes. Clean, clean, clean. It also got, it didn't get the headlights, but it did get the side stripe, if you notice that one. This one is a toughie. If you're looking Matchbox Ford GT on eBay and you see this one, snag it. It is hard to come by. It's a beautiful one. Let's get that back. I actually saw one on sale on eBay for about $2 about a year or two ago, and I just grabbed it just to have it. Another 5-pack version. You can notice now, I should have pointed that out on the black version. They had now released the large 10-spoke wheel, so you can see that that is on the back. It makes more sense on the Ford GT. Fills that wheel well, doesn't make it look like it's sagging on the back. So this was a 5-pack version. I found this one with all large wheels. I think those errors are somewhere. I can pull them out another time, but that happens with these type of models when they're mismatched wheels. All right. Another 5-pack version. This is also up there as one of my favorites. 5-pack, I think they called this one the VIP or sports car. I can't remember what they called it. But I love this one. Plain white, no stripes except for on the side. Headlights, Ford logo, and then tail lights. I thought this one was complete and clean. So it instantly goes up there. But there's even a more rare, well, this one's not rare. They're hard to find now because the 5-packs have kind of dried up and they're difficult to come by on eBay. But there was a rare variation on this one. Here, I'll put off to the side. See if you can figure out the difference. Figured it out? Need a hint? Yep, no side stripe. So this was the even cleaner version. Notice headlights, logo, it's not just a no tampo version. They put all of the front and rear deco on there and just remove the stripe to make it even cleaner. Almost even more of a retro look on this one. This is not the retro Ford GT40. This is the Ford GT that was actually introduced by Ford, in about 2003, 2004. It's the last generation before the current one. That is a rarity. It was I know a few people that found that plain white Ford GT. That was a must-have for me. Here's a Zamac version. Mainline version might be 2009 for this one, maybe 2010. Unpainted headlights, center stripe in blue. Another just super clean, super cool, unpainted Zamac version. You starting to dig this casting if you aren't already? I know there's a lot of you that are big fans of this. I am one of them. Year after that, purple. Another just clean, beautiful version. You start putting these together, and I'm looking. I can move over here in a little bit. I've got all these parked next to each other, and you can see all the multiple colors. All right, right about then, 2010, things kind of went a little haywire with Matchbox. Mattel decided that things needed to be different. Matchbox needed to take a little bit of a younger turn. That's what ended the golden era, as I put it. And then you were getting not these cool Zamac and realistic looking Ford GTs, but you get this thing. I have it because I love the casting, but the blue windows, what is that, Desert Games, Team Captain, whatever. No headlights. It's bad, right? I was really excited to see them using the new 5-spoke wheels that they introduced. But no. No. But I have it because it's a Ford GT. They got a little bit better. They ran with the Ford GT deco on the bottom, but then nothing else. So this one looked particularly blank on top. It would have been nice to have at least the headlights done, but it's better looking. It's better looking. Still no. See how plain it looks on the hood. Still love the casting. This one looks better than that Desert Game Captain, whatever. And then this is the last version we've seen. 5-pack from maybe a year or two ago. Still a little cleaner. You got the Ford GT stripe back and now with a racing number 4 on it. Not terrible. Again, it would have been nice to have at least headlights on it. At least headlights. Maybe a center stripe. Wheels look awesome on it. So here's my thing. Take this casting, bring it back, put it in the Best of World series or something. Put some cool Real Riders on it. I know Matchbox is bringing back some really cool new wheels. Let's let this one, let its premium flag fly. This casting totally deserves it. Now, some of you may be saying, yeah, but I just remember buying a Ford GT recently on the pegs. What about that one, John? Well, let me show you. Ford GT40 was released by Matchbox back in, I don't know when, 1960 something, I think. Very cool car. Matchbox in about 2002, 2003 decided to bring the casting back but do a different take. They did it a little bit larger. They tried to do it in some premium lines. Those didn't work out. And so the first one was released in the 2004 Superfast series. This is a take on the GT40, not the Ford GT. So you see that version in white. Why don't I pull out this one? I'm going to put it right on top. And you can start seeing that there are differences. This is the Ford GT. Look at the back. You see the more modern version, more modern Ford GT is on top. Lower one's on the bottom. You can see wheel wells, everything. Front, you can see one is the classic Ford GT and the other is the new Ford GT. These are two different castings. So we saw this newer Ford GT casting. Then we had this one in 2004, which actually was released first. Then they did the newer Ford GT. But they didn't stop doing the classic GT40, even though there would have been rampant confusion because they started using the super fast wheels on it. So this one is also from the same 2005, 2006 super fast line that this black version is from. And again, if you look closely, they are different. They are two different castings. Oh, I hope this one doesn't fall. That would be bad. So, if this was the US version, there would be an row, right? Rest of world version. Yep. Right here. I have been saving this one for a long time, and why don't we open it here on the Saturday Showcase, shall we? It is the row version. You can see they didn't change the artwork. This is the white with blue stripe version. I'm trying to see, there's the limited edition. I'm trying to see if there's anything that marks this as row. I bet if you looked up with the other packaging, you wouldn't see these other languages represented. But that is the rest of world version, and we might as well open it. Look at that, it just comes right off. That's what happens when you're a cardboard collector. There's the box. Has nothing in it. And here is the model. I have been wanting to open that one for a very, very long time. Figured this was a good time to do it. I have other Superfast I'll open at a different time. Boop. So there you are. It is the rest of world version compared to the US version. You can see just like the black and the silver, the wheels are the same, but the colors are reversed. That is not what they did, like I said, on everyone, but they did on this one. It looks like a modern Ford GT because of the wheels, but it's actually based on the classic casting. Looking forward to taking pictures of that. Superfast continued when they did this, whatever they called this line, Streakers, which is based on the classic Matchbox design from the 70s. So they brought that casting with this classic Streakers look. Then they did it in a premium, somewhat premium line called Best of British. That was only released in the UK, I think around 2008, 2009. You can see this casting is the GT40 casting. I wonder if I look on the base what it says. Yeah, Ford GT40. See that? Down at the bottom. Dinky was, they put that Dinky name on there to continue that. I think they had to put that on there to continue having the Dinky copyright or something like that. There's a story behind that. I'll have to remember what it is. Remember Stars of Cars? There it is. Just like the white version with the blue stripes, here's the GT40 casting in blue from the Stars of Cars series. Then the casting disappeared. We saw that plethora of GT castings, and we saw it returned in a modified form just a couple of years ago in this very cool plain yellow version. If you look, notice the exhaust is a plastic piece on this car. Notice on that car when it rolls around, well, I'll show you. Notice that the windows are kind of this weird right here. They're kind of like sticking out. Notice that they're not there. And then you can see that the exhaust is now molded into part of the die-cast body. So they modified the casting to make it a little simpler. I actually think they made it look a little better. I think they could have closed in the window or the wheel wells in the back a little bit. That's okay though. We saw it in yellow, that plain yellow version, and then just last year in this very beautiful green version. And that's it, everybody. That is the Ford GT40. Not to be confused with the Ford GT. Was this the most confusing Saturday showcase I've ever done? I showed 1, 2, 3, 4 Hot Wheels castings, 2 Matchbox castings. They're all Ford GTs. It is a whole salad of awesome. So we'll keep it at that. I'll move this one away. Hopefully you enjoyed a Matchbox Saturday showcase. It's been a while. There's my favorite Ford GT. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I got lots more to come. See you tomorrow. Bye.